Hey, welcome to the Context Minute. This is the show where we slow things down a bit to break down the big stories. And today, we're talking about a data leak, one so massive it completely changed the game when it comes to cybersecurity.
So let's start with the number. 149,404,754. Now, back in January of 2026, this number popped up on a security researcher's radar. And no, it's not a stock price, it's not a population count, it is the exact number of individual account logins that were just sitting out there completely exposed on the internet.
And I want to be super clear about this. We're not talking about just a list of old email addresses. No, this was a massive treasure trove of usernames and their matching passwords. I mean, these were the actual keys to our digital lives, nearly 150 million of them, just sitting out in the open, totally unprotected for anyone to stumble upon.
So let's dive into this shocking discovery. I mean, we're talking about an unprotected database just open to the world. How does something like this even happen?
All right, so the person who found this was a cybersecurity researcher named Jeremiah Fowler. And on January 21st, 2026, he just stumbled upon this huge data leak. We're talking 96 gigabytes of login info, just there. No password, no encryption, nothing protecting it. It's literally like finding a bank vault with the door swung wide open.
Okay, but here's where it gets really crazy. This wasn't some old, static list of data that got stolen months ago. No way. While Fowler was actually looking at it, the database was growing. In real time, new passwords were being added constantly. This meant it wasn't a one-and-done theft. It was a live, active criminal operation happening right then and there.
And that right there, that real-time growth, points us to something new. The rise of infostealers. See, this wasn't your typical company hack. This was personal. And to really get what happened here, you have to understand this new kind of threat.
So what is an infostealer? Well, it's a kind of malware, right? Malicious software. Its whole job is to secretly infect your computer and just steal sensitive info, like your logins, right from your device. Let me give you an analogy. A traditional hack, that's like a burglar breaking into a bank vault to steal everyone's data at once. An infostealer, though, that's more like a digital pickpocket. It copies the key right out of your pocket without you ever even knowing it's gone.
And this really gets to the heart of it. Look at the difference here. A traditional breach goes after a company's server, but an infostealer attack, it goes after your personal computer. See, they don't bother trying to hack into Netflix or Google's massive servers. Why would they? It's so much easier to just trick you into installing some malware, and then poof, they grab all of your passwords for every site you use, all in one go.
Okay, so this is where it gets real. Your accounts are at risk. Let's take a look at the real-world impact of all this, because this isn't some abstract computer problem. This affects the services we all use every single day.
Just look at these numbers. The scale here it's just staggering. We're talking 48 million Gmail accounts, 17 million for Facebook, over 3 million for Netflix. And it's not just social media. Look, 420,000 accounts for the crypto exchange Binance. It really hits you just how much of our lives, from email and social stuff to finance and entertainment, is tied up in these accounts.
And you know, this didn't happen in a vacuum. January of 2026 was a huge month for data breaches overall. But just look at this chart. This one infostealer leak, at nearly 150 million accounts, absolutely dwarfs everything else. It was almost 10 times bigger than the next largest breach that month. This really proves that we're not just talking about a one-off event. This is a massive, systemic issue.
All right, so after all that pretty scary stuff, the big question is, what can I do about it? Well, here's the good news. There are simple steps you can take to protect yourself. And the best defenses are actually really straightforward and super effective. It really boils down to 3 high-impact security steps. Seriously, these are your best line of defense. Number 1, use a password manager. This is so you can have strong, unique passwords for every single site, never ever reuse them. Number 2, turn on two-factor authentication, or 2FA, everywhere you possibly can. This adds that crucial second layer of security, and it basically makes a stolen password totally useless to a thief. And finally, number 3, keep your software updated. Always install the latest security updates for your computer, your browser, all your apps. That's how you close the door on these kinds of attacks.
So here's the thing to remember. Your data was stolen from your device, not from some big company. This whole thing was a massive wake-up call. The new frontline for cybersecurity isn't some corporate server room anymore. It's our own computers, our own phones. So the question I'll leave you with is this. Is your first line of defense strong enough? That's the context for this minute. Stay safe out there.